The first day on the job in IRD, I came all dressed up. That was in Iraq. I thought that I'm going to be in the office. They told me to go to a remote village on the outskirts of Baghdad. My supervisor looked at me like that and said, I don't care if you're a woman, I don't care if you're dressed up, you have a job to do. Go.
I believe IRD is a pioneer in community development and community capacity building. We've worked in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in the most hostile conditions, where our focus is how do we stabilize communities so that when development assistance is no longer there, these communities are able to carry forth the mission and the work that we've been doing.
It can vary from the immediate emergency assistance after a man-made or natural disaster to long-term development projects.
IRD is willing to go places where other organizations may not be willing to go to due to security risk or inaccessibility. We feel that we need to be with people in their moment of crisis, wherever that may be.
I think we're a unique organization because we take a holistic approach in development and implementation, where you have a food security program, you have a health component, you have a stability part of it, you're working in a war zone. So you bring all the pieces together with one program where it benefits every sector.
This is the first organization where I've worked where I see we have an engineering component here at IRD, we call it the infrastructure, that is actually overseeing the building of roads, digging wells. Then we also have a component that is doing health, or sustainable food and agriculture kinds of things. And the neat thing about that is the sectors work together.
We are not only there to implement programs, but we're also there because we want to build the capacity of the people, and we strive to build that capacity.
We understand from day one, when you go into that type of environment, that you have to be thinking in-state. You can't just think about relief, you have to think about recovery, you have to think about transition.
So IRD works very hard to understand the situation before they enter it, to understand the players, who they're going to work with, to provide the support that's needed in the short term, but at the same time be working with people to see what the needs will be long term.
We like to closely work with the communities so that you don't inadvertently do harm. We do a lot of distribution, for instance, of donated shoes, but you'd want to be very careful and not do that in an area where you would put a shoemaker out of business.
I think our approach and our goal is always long-term development, and we also like to leave some kind of sustainability for the people that we help, and I think that's really our mission at the end of the day, sustainability.
We are working on programs in Kosovo where we used to be the lead for multiple donor funding lines. That's absolutely turned around right now, and our local partner is now the lead, and we are a partner to them, supporting them.
I think when you work in a field, it's easier to see this direct connection with the target beneficiaries, and you're kind of right in the middle of action. And we have more than 2,000 employees worldwide doing that every day in the most difficult environment.
IRD is a corporation, but there is that human connection that I have not seen in other places where I've worked.
What I really like about IRD is it's a fun place to work. And I think one of the reasons why it's a fun place to work is because we all do share the same interest in helping people. So there's a natural teamwork and a camaraderie that comes from that.
When we talk about IRD culture, it's about a culture that places a lot of emphasis on the individual, and I would say at the same time, there is a culture of collaboration.
Our community focus, which is, I think, in IRD's DNA, ideally places us to continue to be part of that process as this relief and development world that we live and operate in evolves.
Nothing in this life to me is like when you hear prayers or thanks from people who you've assisted and you made a difference to their lives, and they would hold your hand and say thank you. Nothing is like that feeling.
So I think it's part of the spirit of IRD to boldly go.